and I always love to. I'm always overexcited when I have the opportunity to share it with other people. So so I've shared it a couple of times. I think for the past 3 years I've been sharing it every year with people of GMP, and I've had the opportunity to also present this across different sections, different events across countries. I so Tonight we hope that you get something from this session this evening. So while we get started, I would want to do a quick survey of the room and to know who is in the room and where you are joining us from. So please go ahead and put in your first name and where you are joining us from. And like we used to do, just put an emoji to tell us how you're feeling today. Let's go. Dami, are you on call?
And he said it was a scattered form of trance.
Okay, Mercy,
I'm
how are
here.
you?
Like
Great.
nothing was
Is it Dami or Mercy who said I'm here?
and a growth form.
Dami.
Okay. So can you do that? Can you take that session welcoming everyone, especially anyone that puts their name on the chat? They are VIP tonight. Those people that did not put their name, they are the back seat. So yeah, so I want you to welcome everyone that put their name in the chat to the VIP seat.
You're welcome, Joel. Joel from Kano, we are glad to have you here. Alifa Isaac. Welcome, Francis. Welcome, Peculiar. Michelle from Ikiti. We are glad to have you. Daniel from Lagos State. Jessica. Echezuna Oluwapelumi. Sunday. Thank you for joining us tonight. Juliet from Abuja. Welcome. Stephen from Cross River. You're welcome. Zinabari joining from Niger State. Welcome. Mary, oh, so sorry about that. You said you are tired. So sorry. I hope you've taken a shower tonight, though. Hi, Kenny. Welcome. Kachi, Manasseh. Welcome. Good evening. Hi, Winifred. Thank you for joining. Elisha from Abuja. It seems we have a lot of people from Abuja tonight. Abuja is taking first. Ojo Nimi. Joining from Madrid. Wow. Thank you for joining us. Ojo Nimi Godwin. Abu Joshua. Thank you for joining. Where are you joining us from, Joshua? Let's know. Miranda from UK. Thank you for joining us, Miranda. We're glad to have you. Daniel, thank you for joining from Nasarawa State. Mercy, thank you for joining. Mercy, what's the can you tell us the meaning of this emoji? I would like to know. What does it signify? Abdul Aris, thank you for joining. I can see that you are happy. Let me know if I'm correct or wrong. Dixie, thank you. Patience, you're welcome. Theophilus, you're welcome. Esther, you're welcome. Abuja. Although I can see your name that's okay. Abu Joshua, Abuja. I said it. Abuja is taking first. I will buy lollipop for all of you from Abuja. Lollipop and shawarma.
It's
I
okay.
send it across to you.
I think that
Oluwapelumi.
it have to Danny. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, Oluwapemi. I'm sorry. Sorry for why are you now crying now?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
It's okay. I've said this several times. It's okay. The front seat is full already. All right. Thank you guys
Sorry.
tonight. So we are going to go straight into the discussion, and I will be sharing my screen in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Um, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
How come you can see my screen and I cannot see my screen? What's happening? Then what did you do?
I have the eye of God.
Please tell me you can see my screen.
I can see it actually. Can anyone else see it so that we can prove to Mr. Nicholas that God is
I
here
can
with
see
us?
it. I can
Mm.
see it.
What can you see?
What should I do with my life?
I do with my life.
Really? Okay, let me do this and see. Uh,
It's a Canva presentation, like on Canva.
okay. That's really strange because I'm not seeing the screen here, and if you are seeing screen, what's happened? What is going on with this screen? Which world are we living in? So what you guys see, is it only Canva you're seeing, or you have been seeing all my screen all this while? Okay, guys, good evening,
It's only
everybody.
Canva, but now it's in presentation mode now.
Interesting. Johnny, thanks for joining us this evening. Joining us all the way from Madrid. Oh my God, thank you so much. When you have somebody that have two doctorate degree in the house, what are you gonna say? We are so glad to have you join us tonight. We are grateful.
Don't
So,
get too.
for some of you that think I love book, this guy has two doctorate degree. He's finished one and he's doing another one. So
I don't do. I don't.
I know, I know. Do book research. So this evening we're going to discuss something very important, and it's about life itself. During the course of the uh during the course of this session, I put a simple question on the group. Let me see. Let me try to share the screen of what our responses looks like, because that's going to be the first thing we're going to start with. So the first question we're going to be asking, or the question we are trying to attempt to answer this evening, is to try to at least help you understand what you should do with your life. What should you do with your life? I mean, if you can get this question sorted out, there is a whole lot of speed and accuracy and precision that comes to your life. And I wish the things I'm going to teach to you this evening, I wish I had known them earlier. But since I know them for the past 5 years, I've seen how these particular lessons or this particular um, experience have turned my life around. And I wish you also have the same experience after tonight's section, in Jesus' name. So I asked 3 questions earlier. Let me see if Meta will allow me to share that screen. Great. Okay, reject. Also, the first question that I asked was, what does life mean to you? And forget about the test. I'm the one that was writing test and all. And the word that is winning here is purpose. Wow, that is great. And the key word here is purpose. And love find its way to this place. Oh my God. We have purpose, we have love, we have experience, and we have growth. Okay, so I hope that we touch one of those things. What I'm not very sure we're going to talk about tonight is love, but in a way you're going to in one context or the other you're going to hear something about purpose. You're going to hear something about growth, and then there are commitment, fulfillment, God's gift, mastery, flourishing, connection. Someone's life is booked. Oh my God. There are books. If I don't if your me had gotten this link before now, I say he most likely the one that wrote it, but it's definitely not the one that wrote it. So I'm not just the bookworm in the house. Someone say impact through clarity, experience, and adventure. Okay, there's whole a lot. Thank you so much for that. So, but the key word here is purpose, and this also makes me to understand that you have an idea of what you're going to talk about this evening. Then the second question was, um, from what you know about the intelligence system, what do you think is the most sophisticated intelligence system? And nobody got it. Anyway, I won't say mine is the right answer, but nobody got the answer that is in my mind. Someone talk about emotional intelligence. Someone say large multimodal model. Hey, NFUB, whatever that means. Okay. Large multimodal model, standard system. System is not an intelligence system. Okay, human brain is leading. or human mind, depending on what you want to call it. That's what is leading. Yeah, that's good. That's close to what I have in mind, but not exactly what I have in mind. We're going to talk about that. And then the next question is, I wanted to do an X-ray in the house to find out on the scale of 1 to 10, how what's our clarity level. And I like how we accurately or we sincerely provided this answer. So, about what's leading. Number one is leading. So majority of us here are not very clear yet of what to do with our lives, and that's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's perfect. Trust me. I don't think nobody. If I've seen a 4 or a 5, I would have gone. I would have asked the person to please give me an appointment so that I can book an appointment, because I don't think I've also gotten a 5 clarity or a 4 clarity of what I want to do in my life at the moment. Has anyone has that yet? Anyone? Okay, so we are within the range 2.5. Yeah, about. I hope that after tonight's section, maybe a bit for some of us that are in 2.5, you move a little bit to 3.5. I mean 2.9, you move to 3.5. What I'm saying? Oh, I'm reading this thing wrongly. Actually, about we have some people saying they are very clear about life. Yes, from the highest to the clearest, right? So we have some people saying they belong to 4 and 5. Okay, okay. That's okay. All right. Thank you for giving me this notch. This will serve as a foundation to what we're going to be talking about this evening. So let's move to the discussion for today. So we're not going to do 1 hour today. This is going to be 2 hours because I want to, as much as possible, try and finish this in a sitting so that we don't get us confused by next week. So please take let me just give us that. So thank you for joining. So what is life? What does life mean to you? We have seen those responses of what life means, and we say that, or majority of us say that life is purpose. Now, and this question about what is life, actually, it's one of the questions that a lot of people that we don't seem to have asymmetric answers to. And Abdul Machi, good evening. Please, can you mute yourself? Guys, if you're not speaking, please, can you be on mute? We know the drill already, okay? Tammy, please help me mute him. He's not even listening. Thank you. It's not even him. Okay. Dami, can you mute every person and unmute me? Please do that. Can you first unmute everyone and unmute? Is it okay now? Can you guys hear me? Please confirm you can hear me. Great.
Yes, sir, I can.
So life means different things to different people. And now in about 5 years ago, it's no longer 5 years, it's about 7 years ago. That was around 2019, 2018. I was invited to speak at an event in a secondary school graduation, a secondary, it was not a graduation per se, it's like school leavers conference. So it's like a secondary school, people leaving secondary schools, but it's multiple schools that came together. So they were kind of giving them orientation and all. So I was invited to Rochas Foundation Secondary School. That was the venue. To speak to them about life and all. And I presented. I did a very beautiful presentation, and everybody was happy. They clapped their hands. I talked about purpose. I talked about whatever you feel you need to talk about life. And then it was time for question and answer. And I will not forget that girl. Her name is Jamila. Jamila raised her hand and asked me, Mr. Nicholas, thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. But I want to ask, what is life? At that point, I didn't know what to like. It just dawned on me. So I've talked about life. I've talked about making the most of your life. That was the topic, and then I have not even taken time to define what life is. So everything I've been saying, to me, she has been confused from the beginning. I was like, tell me what life is. So at that moment, I had to just whisper, Holy Spirit, please help me here. So I tried to mumble stuff together, but at the end of the day, by the time I was done making the presentation, came in instantly. And because normally as a scientist, when I think about a concept, I try to break it down into what I can relate with. That's what I do with everything I read, everything I study. I break it down. I start from the simplest thing I can relate with. Okay. And so I decided to now start breaking down life to, okay, if I say I want to make the most of my life. What does it mean? So as I was speaking, the utterance were coming, I was speaking, it was coming, I was speaking, and I did excellently well in answering that question. But then when I went back, even me, what I said that day, I didn't think about it. I didn't know that I know it and I have it within me. So I went back and decided to frame that model, and that model has been what I've been using to gauge through life, such that when I want to say I want to make the most of my life. When I want to say I want to do something with my life, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about an abstract thing. I'm talking about something concrete. And not something, and it's not something that is far-fetched. So that was what led me to this model. This model was first. This is my first presentation in 2000 and that is 2019, either 19 or 2020. That was when or 2019 or 20. That's why I made this presentation at Kogi State University when I was invited to speak on to speak to students but I was invited by, for some of us, you meet him, Mr. Sam, to speak about I don't know, I can't remember what I spoke about again, but it's around this area. That was when I framed this. But then, so when we talk about life, I see that life is a function of five things. Please take note of that. And if you forget anything, don't forget this model. You can't see it anywhere. So life is a function of five things. And those five things are what sum together. Like when you said, this is my life, that's what it means. Now, the first one is your resources. And I explain it briefly as what money is and what money can buy. Those are your resources. Talked about your assets, whatever it is that money and what money can buy, that's resources. That's what's in your disposal in the context of this this framework. Now, the second is your energy. So when they said don't waste your life, they might as well be telling you don't waste your energy. And when we talk about energy, we are looking at energy from two different perspectives. There is the physical or the biological energy. As at the time of this model, I read it as physical, but recently I call them as biological energy. That is the energy you obtain from eating food, right? The ATPs and all. Now, it talks about strength. So as your life grows, your strength, in the strength of your life, I don't want to go deep into this framework, but I just want to introduce it. You notice that the strength of your life writes more of an N shape. When you are young, you have lower strength. As you continue to grow, you have a strength. As you come to the peak of your strength, and then it begins to come down, right? So that's how the slope looks like. So either your mental strength, your mental energy, or your biological energy, it's a component of your life. Now the second is network. Now the network is the people in your life, the people you have met, anybody you have met at all. It can be your family, your colleagues, your friends, the people you are meeting here. They are forever part of your life. They contribute to making your life miserable. They contribute to making your life productive. So you can't take them out. Now the third is the time. Now time is considered as a unit of life. People say if you waste your time, you waste your life. Yeah, that is partly true, but I don't see that time is only what you have in life. All right. You also have other stuffs in your life. And then the last one that took me time to bring it in, because that it can perfectly sit under resources as tangible or intangible resources. But then I decided to pull it out so that it's worthy of standing on its own as well. So and that's skills. And I define skills for some of you that have already been part of this movement. I define skills as your refined ability or your refined knowledge. Understand, when you add training to your talents, or you add training to your ability, it becomes a skill. So you don't go to school to acquire a skill. You go to school to acquire knowledge. Okay? So that's why they don't use the term training for schools, because what you get in schools are raw knowledge. Now, it's after you leave school that you begin to refine that knowledge through practical training. Are you following? At that point, it becomes skills. That's when you say, okay, this person is skillful, whatever you study. And it can be informal, it can be an informal setting. So think of whatever you have been trained to do, and you can do them professionally, it becomes your skill. I'm not talking about things that you can do naturally. Those are your talents, they are good, but until they have passed through the refinement training, they are not yet skills. So life is a function. For some of us that are science students, or some of us that are social sciences, when they say something is a function of something, you say, okay, this thing, it means that I can substitute these things, or this thing contain these things, right? So I use the acronym RENT to define what life is. So when I say making the most of your life, what I'm essentially saying is making the most of your rents. That is making the most of your resources, making the most of your network, making the most of your skills, your energy, or your time. Also, when I said tonight, what we want to do is, what should I do with my life? So when I talk about what should I do with my life, it has now become easier for us to break it down. What I'm simply saying is, what should I do with my resource? What should I do with my network? And like that. Is that clear? Because I want us to get this set so that we can run with it. Now, the reason why I asked the question, what do you think is the most sophisticated intelligent system? Okay, is because the simple answer is life. Can somebody tell me why? For those that have been following, can someone tell me why I said life is the most sophisticated intelligent system? Or can someone even explain to me why you think that life is an intelligent system from what you have discussed? Anyone? I'm tempted to promise the person something, but I'm not promising anything tonight. But if you give me an answer that touch my spirit, soul, and body, I may speak with my wife and we may promise you something. Anyone? I can't see your hands up, so I may not be able to see anyone. No volunteer tonight. What's happening? Um, life has no duplicate. It's just one. That's what Mary said. Okay. The question is, why do you think that life is the most intelligent system? Winifred, go ahead. Winifred Oji. Why do you think I said that life is the most sophisticated intelligent system?
I think it's because we can choose to tweak our lives the way we want it to. Say, for example, you can wake up tomorrow and decide to reinvent yourself if you have life. So with life, you're able to, as long as you have life, you have the capability to be flexible as towards what direction you want your life to go. You know, you're in control of your life and you're able to direct it the way you want as long as you're alive and you have the will to do that.
Thank you. That's a brilliant one. That's a brilliant attempt. Thank you, Winifred, for that. Pasim, I'm seeing your hand. Thank you, Winifred.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So, to me, life is an intelligent system because it can refine itself on its own. For example, for someone that has a life, can collect data from experiences, from knowledge, from wisdom, to have a better living itself. So that's why life is an intelligent system to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kazim, for that. Thank you for also relating it to trying to make us to understand what an intelligent system is. That's wonderful. Daniel Leodo, your hand is up.
All right, good evening.
Good
So
evening.
I life is an intelligent system because it strictly follows the intelligent formula, which is the system learning and decision making, in the sense that to live your life, you need systems to guide them. And life is a continuous phase of learning. You keep learning every day. But it all boils down to the decisions you take. So you make decisions daily, and those decisions like guide you through life, and those like equals or equates the intelligence system. So yes, so I believe it's so.
Brilliant input. Brilliant input. I love that. I love that. Okay. Oluwapemi is says he or they say they want to try. Oluwapemi, if I got that right, please can you unmute and speak?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Um, yes, sir. So, sir, I think life is an intelligent system because it has several different parts that work together as one. Like this rent that you talked about, the resources, energy network, the time and the skills, they are all different parts that that make up life, and they are all required to. I don't like to know.
Don't worry. You have hit the nail on the head. Every other contribution, powerful, brilliant. But that's something I was looking out for, right? So because I want us to be able to any sections we have, I want us to be able to connect the dots. All right, so that we know that we are not just taking it in isolation. That's why it's called a class, right? Because we build a foundation and then we lay a foundation and build on the foundation. So if you remember, we define intelligence system as we define a system as having more than one part, right? It has interconnected parts. That's what a system is. And then we say that a static system, although they have an interconnected part, does not learn. They only take instruction and they act on that instruction, and that's all. They do not learn to be better, right? That's what makes it static. So, what makes intelligence system different from the static system is that those different parts learns. They learn from experience, they adapt, they are flexible, which is what Winifred have mentioned, which is what Dan Yudo has mentioned, Kazim has mentioned, and Oluwapemi, right? Oluwapemi was able to help us hit the nail on the head and make us to understand that life is itself is first of all a system. Don't forget, your life is a system. So when you say that I want to make the most of my life, you're not talking about one thing, you're not talking about one component. All right. I know people talk about breathing, the oxygen you take it and the oxygen you think out. That's what people take life to be. But you can't make the most of the oxygen you breathe in. You can't, you can't, you don't think of how to use the oxygen. So you need to think of your life as a system. And this system is made up of five major components. Five major components. And if you sit down and think of anything else that is involved with your life, it can all go into these components. All right. If you talk about your career, if you talk about your career, if you talk about your marriage, if you talk about your marital life, the spiritual component of your life, your whatever component of your life you can think of, each of them has these elements. And that's why life is a system and it's an intelligent system. So that's very good. And that's one thing I want us to emphasize from this place. So don't forget when we talk about by trying to answer the question, what do you want to do with your life? We were trying to say, what do you want to do with your rent? And your rents are what we just mentioned. So let's make progress. Now, what is clarity? Um, I would have loved to ask us what clarity means to you. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually have some other responses here that I didn't see. Mary said life becomes an intelligent system by the reason of individual person that possesses it. Mercy said, I think life's an intelligent system because of the unique experience that can be gotten and because of the duration of time. The opportunity to learn is always there until it goes out of a person. That's true. Life is an intelligent system because it learns and adapts. That's brilliant. From the layout you gave us, I would say that life can be called the most intelligent system because it combines resources, energy, networks, type, and skills and makes them work together to produce results. Brilliant. Don't forget that. So these three, okay, let me know if I emphasize. These 5 things work together to produce results. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. Now, when we talk about clarity, okay, let me do this quickly. When we talk about the clarity about life, what's the first thing that comes to your life, comes to your mind? You can type, but if you want to raise your hand, you can raise your hand as well. When you hear a clarity, as it relates to life, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? The first word. Don't think too much. Just write the first word. Understanding. Thank you. Direction. Oh, is coming in. Direction. Understanding. Direction. Who else? Purpose. Great. Brilliant. Focus. No. That's great. Precision. Great. Purpose. Eye-opening. Okay. Knowledge. Brilliant. Okay, thank you so much for that, Dan. That's wonderful, and all the answers are correct. Again, I want us to give us a context exactly, as in knowing exactly what I want to do from a place of consistent understanding. I mean, I love that. So, how many of us remember your secondary school physics? Let me know how many of us do remember, even integrated science. Who can tell us what is speed? From integrated science, what is speed? What's the formula for calculating speed? Purpose, direction, on how something. Okay, that's good. Are you typing? If you're typing, please type fast. If you're not typing, you can just omit and tell me. What is, if you know it? Distance over time. Brilliant. Distance over time. Thank you. Speed is distance. Speed is velocity per distance. Isaac, which secondary school did you go to? Okay, distance over time. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for that. Now, they said speed is distance over time. Again, I want to ask again, what's the difference between speed and velocity? Let's go. What's the difference between speed and velocity? What's the difference between speed and velocity? What's the difference between speed? Let me know those that really pass physics. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. I'll catch you. What's the difference between speed and velocity? Oh, scalar. You see, people know book. Scalar and vector. So thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Success. Thank you. Direction. The difference between speed and velocity is direction. Now look, speed said this lady is walking at 20 kilometers per hour. That's speed. But when you say this lady is running at when you say this lady is running at 20 kilometers per hour, that's speed. But you say this lady is running at 20 kilometers per hour towards Abuja, that's velocity. So velocity is a vector quantity because it includes displacement, which includes direction. And that's the difference between speed and velocity. That's why I always tell people that you don't want to have speed in life. I'm just saying that. Don't quote me wrong, but I'm just being scientific. That you rather want to have a velocity in life than having speed, because velocity takes into account distance. Because there's no point being fast in the wrong direction. There is no point at all. Now, I say this thing to give us an understanding of what clarity is. Clarity is speed is distance over time. That means if I want to increase my speed, I adjust two things. Either I adjust the time it takes me to get to where I'm going, or I reduce the distance to where I'm going. Did you agree? Yes, you agree. So now what clarity does for you is that it does one of those two, or both of them. Clarity about life helps shorten the distance between where you are and where you want to go. How does it do that? Because it gives you an idea of the shortest route to follow, like a straight line. You don't get confused as you're going. So it kind of shortens it. So it doesn't take you a lot of distance to cover to get to where you're going. In a way, it does that. Also, clarity also saves you a lot of time, so that you don't waste energy, resources. Okay, let me say, you don't waste your rent. That's your time component of your rent, doing what is not needful. That's why clarity in life is very important. So when I'm asked, what do you want to do with your life? Or when I'm asked, what does clarity mean to you? I simply say ability to know when to do it, ability to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. What to do, when to do it, and how to do it. The what already has shortened the distance. The when has saved me time. And the how also take into account the distance and the time factor. So that's why someone who is an amateur, for example, what it takes the person 3 hours to do, someone who is an expert take 1 hour to do. You have saved time. And you are able to do that because you are clear of what to do. So if your car, for example, I used to give this example a lot. So I was in the US and I spilled a cup of during COVID. I spilled a cup of I spilled coffee on my laptop, and my laptop refused to come on. And it was during COVID. And I tried everything I could do within my power. It couldn't come up. So I went online and Google, okay, where can I fix? Because I need my laptop to work because I was just actually working from home. That was when I saw that there is a man there's a man that I'm supposed to go and visit. So as I was going on the train, I lost my my phone went off. Yeah, in the US. Yeah. No, it's not my phone that went off. Yeah, I ran out of data. I didn't remember to buy data because I was using Wi-Fi. So once I got out of the house, I didn't remember to buy data. Once I get to the train station, I discovered I don't have data. So I can't buy data without data on my phone. You know that you need data to buy data. You don't have data. I was in that report until I now started using my head to calculate where this man's house really is. Now, what would have taken me 15 minutes to locate took me almost 2 hours because I was using my head to calculate, to guess, and it was during COVID. Nobody's out. No, a lot of people are not outside. Also, I was telling, do you know this address? And they'll say they don't know. Also, I was using my head to calculate, but eventually I got to the man's place. Now, the first lesson about clarity there is because I don't have direction, I'm not clear about the direction where I'm going. It elongated the time it takes and also elongated the distance I need to cover to get there, thereby reducing my speed. That's not even the major point. The major point, when I brought the laptop to him, he just opened the laptop and used ethanol, which I have methanol, which I have in my house to clean the motherboard and then dry it with fan and pull it together and the thing start working. And he collected 200 pounds. And it didn't take him, I'm sorry, I said 200, but $200. And it didn't take him more than, it didn't take him up to 15, 20 minutes to fix that stuff. Now, I give you a suggestion to tell you what clarity can do for you. Clarity collapse time. It reduces the distance it takes. And that's why this is important. I'll overflow this. So, like I said, clarity is now, but in the context of our discussion this evening, I love to also go to the Bible. The Bible talks about in Genesis 8:22, it says, as long as the earth endures, two things never cease. And that's where our focus is going to be. Two things. Please, are you following? Are you connecting the dots? Please give me a thumbs up if you are following and you're connecting the dots, because I don't just want to speak. I don't just want to speak like I'm speaking. Give me a thumbs up if you know if you are connecting the dot. You're connecting the dot. Okay, thank you. Now, so the Bible said, as long as the earth exists, two things will not cease: the seed time and harvest time. One takes from you, another brings to you. Put that at the back of your mind. That means as long as you have breath, as long as you have life, as long as you have resources, as long as you have the rent, two things never cease. Two things will not cease: the seed time and harvest time. Now, put that at the back of your mind. One takes from you, another one brings to you. So, clarity is knowing exactly what you want to do, is knowing what you want to reap so that you can sow what you will yield your desired harvest. It's as simple as that. So life is about, if life is about reaping and sowing, clarity about life is simply talking about what should I harvest? Then it's from the question of what should I harvest that you get to sow. Is that clicking? Because a lot of us think that it's about, when we go through clarity, the first thing that comes to your mind, you think is about a question of what should I do? Clarity is not first of all about what you want to do. You don't, if life's about seed time and harvest time, you don't say, you don't start from what to plant. You start from what to harvest. That gives you an idea of what to plant. Together. So I want us to reverse engineer of our thought, and this can help you reverse your thought. That's why whenever I put myself to do before I start a thing, before I start a project, I define the outcome I want. It is that outcome that I want that will determine how I'm going to go about it. That's how clear. That's one of the ways to gain clarity very fast. So if you don't know where you are going, someone said everywhere is a direction. Everywhere is a potential direction. So you need to invest your time understanding what you want. You need to really invest your time understanding what you want. I don't join a project without knowing what I want from that project. And that's why an opportunity may look very awesome, but I don't just look at an opportunity and just jump and start applying. No, I have to look, what's the outcome of this opportunity, and how does it align with what the outcome I want from life. So that's the thinking mindset I want us to carry. So it's knowing exactly what you want to reap so that you can sow what you desire harvest. Having said that, okay, this is the point I was going to show. How clear are you about life? And you guys have told some guys say they are 50% cleared about what they want to do with their life, or they are 100% sure about what they want to do with their life, and that's awesome. But me, I'm not yet sure about what to do. Of course, I want to go through it again. So if life is about seed and harvest, then the question now becomes, what do you plant? If it's about planting and harvesting, what do you plant? That takes us back again to our rent framework. So these are your seeds. Don't forget your resource, your energy, your network, your time, and your skills that are the seeds. You see, whatever it is you want to do with your life, whatever it is you want to get out of this life, these 5 things can give you. If it is fame you want, these 5 things can give you. If it is financial freedom you want, these 5 things can give you. If it's a stable marriage you want, these 5 things can give you. You just need to identify, what do I want? Then you can now begin to sow them. I don't want to overflow that. I hope that I've seen it. We are smart people in this house. Now, one of the things I also want us to understand here is that your 5 different components of your life system are interchangeable. Now, if you don't, you can use resources to buy other people's energy to do the work if you don't have the energy. You can use your network to save time. You can use your time to create the network. You can use your skills to get resources, and you can use resources to gain more skills. So the way God designed it, He designed it in such a way that there is no one that lacks all the 5 at the same time. If you don't have one, you don't have 2, you may have 3 or 4 or 5. So the question is, at this time of my life, what do I have in abundance? That is the clue to what you should be using to get what you don't have. Are you following? You cannot not know people, and yet you don't have time to develop new skills, and yet you don't have money. Like, it cannot happen. So if at any given point you don't have any of these seeds, to sow, to give you what you want, you are most likely wasting it on what you don't want. If you don't have enough resources to pay for a skill set, and you don't know enough people to help you get that skill for free, and that means you're wasting it up. Either you're wasting the people you have, or you're wasting your time, or you're wasting your resources, or you're wasting your energy. You have one. You cannot say you don't have, you have one at a particular point in time. So you need to, the first level of clarity is what do I want from life? And let me quickly say that what you want from life changes with time. Now, one thing I didn't mention about the rent, remember, there are two types of time. There is the chronological time, what we call the chronos, and the seasonal time. The chronological time, the chronos, and the seasonal time, what we call the kairos. Now, the chronos is the second, the minute, the hour, the year, the month. These are the chronos time. Now, the kairos are the seasons of your life. The time that you are young is a season. The time that you're on campus is a season. The time that you are single and not married is a season. The time that you're not working yet, you're not employed yet is a season. So you need to understand the seasons of the time you are in so that you can be able to adequately know what you want at that time. Hello, are you following? Now listen to this now and listen very attentively. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in the next one. But I just hope you get this. Is this point emphasized enough? Can I go ahead? Please, I want us to, okay, great. Give say I should write on. Now, so what have I said so far? If you want to gain the clarity of what you want to do with your life, you start with the desired outcome. And remember what I said, the desired outcome is not cast in stone. It changes depending on the kairos. The outcome you want for your life now, it may not be the same outcome you want for your life in the next 10 years. So clarity is not knowing what to do with your life. It's not knowing what to do for the next 10 years, the next 20 years. That is a wrong thing. They have taught that, and I know from experience that it doesn't work. I know from experience that is what it does not work. And people who understands that focus on, I'm not saying you should not think long term, but act short term. Because your long-term plan changes. It changes as you grow in your seasons. It changes as you grow in your resources. It changes as you grow in knowledge and wisdom and understanding. So please, let's have that at the back of our mind. Now, I say it again for the sake of repetition. The first thing I said is start with the outcome, the desired outcome, then find out how to use your seed to get the outcome. Ask the question, how can I engage my resources? How can I engage my energy? How can I engage my time? How can I engage my skills to get what I want now? See, when you do that, that's why the Bible talks about we see in part and we understand in part. I want someone to volunteer. What's your best movie? Anyone? What's your best movie? Who has the best movie? Anyone? You can type or you can say it. Who has the best movie? What's your best movie? Nobody has best movie. You don't watch movie. We don't watch movie in this place. You are all serious people. If nobody answers, I'll continue. Okay. If I'll still ask my question if nobody answers. What do you think make a movie very interesting? What do you think makes a movie interesting? What do you think makes a movie interesting? Who can help us with that? What do you think make a movie interesting? You can unmute and speak if you can. Am I speaking to myself this evening?
Okay.
Thank you, Gift.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
All right. Okay. I'll say one of my best movie is actually this Mount Zion. Sorry, not Mount Zion. It's Fejos Baba movie, and the title is The Keeper. So while I find it interesting, and one of the key points which made me say it's an interesting movie, it's the fact that it's based on it's a faith-based movie in which it's kind of open someone's eyes to things of the spiritual, and after every what's it called episode, there's a time set aside for you to pray about your life, and I think that's one of the things that interests me about the movie. Thanks, sir.
That's interesting. Thank you so much for that, Gift. Any other person who wants to try? Thank you, Gift, for that. Okay. Let me reframe my question this way. How many of you would want to watch a movie that you already know how it's going to end? How many of you would think that the movie that you already know how it's going to end is an interesting one? Okay, I don't know what you think, but I think to me, if I know how the movie is going to end, it's no longer interesting to me. Because the beauty of a movie is in the suspense. Have you ever come to think about that the beauty of life is actually in the suspense? So think like today, like you wake up tomorrow and then everything you ever want in life, you now have it. How do you think your life will be? Boring. No, I say that to emphasize the fact that God designed it, it is designed in such a way that you don't need to bother yourself with. I'm not saying don't make a 20-year plan. We're going to talk about that and put it into perspective. Okay, now, so we said that clarity is an integral part of growth, and I'll send this thing to you. So now this is a recap of what we just said. I don't want to re-emphasize it again. Now, I want you to know the following things. If um if I want a number, for example, if I want five, and they said, okay, do something to combine two combined ways to get to five. 3 plus 2 is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 plus 4 is 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. 0 plus 5 is 5. Now, what does that teach us about life? The first thing is that number one is that the method may be different, but if you add the right component, you get to the right result. That's the first thing. That's the first thing mathematics teaches us about life and about clarity. So you need to focus on, when you focus on the outcome, you will not be so much, if the outcome is 5, your goal is get to 5. Your goal should not be, I must have 4 and 1, or I must have 2 and 3, or I must have 5 and 0. The goal is 5. So if you know that you are going to get to 5, if you see 4, what you need now is a 1. If you know you are going to get to 5, if you see 3, you know that what you need now is a 2. So, but if you focus on what you want is 5, and you get a 4, you may be, or you say, okay, I'm looking for 3. You see a 4, you will not pick the 4. You say, because it's 5, I want to. And since my focus is on the 3, I have to get 3. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. I know you understand what I'm saying. So the method may be different. So that's what the outcome brings for you. And the second one is, the bigger the numbers, the bigger the more ways to get to it. There are more ways to get to 10 than there are more ways to get to 5. What does that mean? The bigger your dreams, the more you should be open to other different paths to get to your dream. That's it. So your target is 4. Your target is not 2 plus 2. That's what I just said. It's not 2 plus 2. It's not 3 plus 1. It's not 4 plus 0. It's not 2 times 2. Your target is 4. So when you get the 4, you can get every other component to make up to the 4. And this, don't forget this, number 5. Very key. You lack clarity not because you do not journey. Say it. Now, what people say is, or what have been taught over the years is, make sure that you get clarity before you start. But that's counterproductive, because clarity is not something that comes to you. It's something you journey into. If you forget anything, don't forget this one. Nobody sit down behind their decks and gain clarity about anything. Nobody. Clarity does not come to you. Clarity comes as you continue to take steps after the other. I think this is well established enough. If you go through the Bible, it has always been like that. It has always been like that. The people that God uses, they were doing something else. And God met them at the point of where they were doing it. And their journey become clearer and clearer and clearer. That's why the Bible says that the path of the just is like a morning light that shines brighter and brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. So you don't wait, you don't sit down, you don't read books. I'm not saying that books cannot give you clarity, but what book does is to give you the framework to actually work on clarity. So if you want to be clear with your life, if you want to be clear with what you want out of life, you need to go out there and live life. So I'm not the type that will say, know the kind of job you want to do before you go and look for a job. No, that's not, it doesn't work that way. There are some jobs you will not even know that this is what you have called for until you find yourself in that job. You will not know that you will not even know that this is not what I'm called for until you find yourself in those jobs. Those things are not wasted times. They are journey into clarity. Remember, an intelligent system learns and adapts. Now, the difference between people who jump from one thing to the other without any recourse is that as they make this mistake, they learn nothing from that mistake. They jump to another one, they learn nothing from that mistake. They jump to that. No, that's not how it works. As an intelligent system, what you have been taught to do is that as you work on this, you must make sure that you are gaining experience, learning from that experience, and as you're learning from that experience, you're making yourself better, so that as you're falling forward. As you're falling forward. So that is how you gain clarity. You don't gain clarity sitting behind your desk. You get clarity by acting. As you act, it becomes clear. This is well established. Now, do you think we should stop at this point and continue next week, or we should just continue? Because I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of information. So if you want us to stop at this point, type a 1. If you want us to stop at this point, type a 0. If you want us to continue, type a 1. Let me take that, because I don't want, but it looks as if I'm saying a lot, and I don't want any people and okay, we should continue, right? Okay, let's continue then. Let's continue. So, having said all this before now, I now want to talk about 2 things you must be clear about for you to know what to do with your life. 2 most important things. You already have an idea from our first discussion about harvest time and seed time. It's just give and take. Those 2 things are simple: your contribution and your reward. I want us to type contribution and reward. Oh yeah, type it on the group. I want you to know that you are with me. Type contribution and reward. Contribution and reward. Please type, go ahead and type so that I know that you are with me. Contribution and reward, contribution and reward. Great. Contribution and reward. Great. So, like the Bible says that I want to pick my pen. So the scripture said, as long as you are alive, as long as you can breathe, as long as the earth exists, as long as you have those framework, the things that you should look out for is what? Is either give or you take. So you contribute and you get reward. So these are the two most important things you need to be clear about. What do I want as a reward? That will now determine what should I contribute. So at any given point in your life, you should be contributing and be taking rewards. And trust me, you must not, you don't say, okay, I'm only contributing. If you are making contributions without the commensurate reward, it will lead to frustration. Everybody wants to be rewarded for whatever they do. It will lead to frustration. And if you want to get reward without making contribution, you are a thief. So the most important thing you need to be clear about is, what kind of reward do I want? That's more important. That is more important. What kind of reward do I want? I'm going to talk about reward as we go forward. What kind of reward do I want so that I can make contributions that will bring that reward? Now, how can you be clear about reward? And this is the framework I use. How do you know what to contribute? Remember, initially I said there is no one that doesn't have one of the rents. So how do you know what to contribute? You know how to contribute using what I call the BTB frame, the BTB nexus. Now, you think about your talents. Talent talks about what are the natural gifts that you have. What are the natural strengths? What are the innate things that you have? What do you do better than most people? Okay, you need to be able to answer those questions. I'll give an example of my own self later. The second is, what are you passionate about? They are not the same thing. Your passion is what excites you, what energizes you, what inspires you, what motivates you. It's different from what you can do. Okay, this one is what inspires you. So they are the things you will do for free, even when you need to be paid to do it. If I tell you guys what is my passion, most of you may already know what it is, but we're going to talk about it. So that's your talent. Then the burden is that, what do you feel responsible for? There are some people, they hate people falling sick. When they see somebody that is sick and they are helpless, they can't help that person. They feel that they are responsible for the person's sickness. Why some people, it doesn't even concern them. There are some people, they hate injustice. They hate seeing someone else being maltreated. But there's some people, it doesn't concern them. It's not part of. So you need to identify what's your burden. What do you feel responsible for? If you see people with those things, even though you're not the one that caused it, you think you are the one that you feel you are the one that's responsible for it. Again, remember, when we talk about intelligence system, we talk about the place of self-awareness. Now, until you are able to sit down and understand yourself, you cannot learn from your experiences. You cannot learn from your mistake. That's why we started with what? Intelligence system. So by now I expect you to be learning. So where your passion and your talent meet is where you are supposed to make contribution. Okay? Now, where your passion and your talent meet is where you are supposed to make contribution. Now, remember that this talent can also be skills. It can be something you are trained for. So it can be something that you are naturally good at. But what you can do and what inspires you is where you should be looking to making contribution. If you can answer these two questions for yourself, you save yourself a lot of troubles. And because when these two forces, your innate ability and innate motivation meet, you fly. You don't struggle to do it. You do it and you enjoy it and you love it. Why am I still awake at 12 midnight and you're not paying me? Is that giving you an understanding what I'm saying, right? Why? Why am I still awake? Why do I sit down to develop this? It took me time to develop, and I'm teaching you for free, and I'm enjoying myself. It's because it is the nexus. It is my talent, passion nexus. I love teaching. I love thinking, and I'm passionate about teaching people. I can teach, and I'm passionate about teaching people. That is my passion, talent nexus. And I don't need it. My reward from doing this is that I'm enjoying myself, and you are getting values. So you need to come to that point, and if you don't, until you are able to identify these 2 points of connection, you still go through life with a lot of unclarity and uncertainty. I know you have a lot of questions in your mind. Don't worry, don't worry. Maybe those questions may be handled later. Now, I want us to take note of this. Where your talent and where you're supposed to make contribution, there are different ways to make contribution. You can either make contribution as your vocation, and that's what pays your bills. Hello, guys. You guys, that's where we are now. Your vocation is what pays your bills. Now, sometimes it may not necessarily be something you are passionate about, but something you are talented on, or you have a professional training. If that can pay your bills at the moment, it's fine. You are still making contribution. Because it's not all the time that your passion, talent, nexus can pay your bills. So everyone needs a vocation. Everyone needs a vocation. And that means you need something to pay your bills. What pays my bills is not what I'm doing. My 9 to 5 pays my bills. My 9 to 5 give me the money that I use to be able to put this together and with other co-founders. But even my vocation feed into my passion, talent nexus. Because at the end of the day, that is what I'm more passionate about. Then everyone should have a profession. And this is what you are trained to do. Be trained to do something. Now, then everyone should have a mission. This is what you are called to do. These are 3 different things. Your vocations is what you are paid to do. Your profession is what you are trained to do. Your mission is what you are called to do. For some, their profession is their vocations. For others, their mission is their vocations. For others, their profession is their mission. But if your vocations can be your profession and your mission, trust me, you'll be the most. You'll be that eureka moment. How do we call it? Or you just enjoy your life. Yeah. But as long as you are not there yet, that does not mean that you should leave what is paying your bills to go and pursue a mission that is not paying your bills. You will be contributing and there will not be rewards in the sense that you need. So it's okay, depending on where you are. If these 3 of them converge for you, congratulations. If it's only one you have now, congratulations. If it is 2 of them that converge, congratulations. If none of them are converging at the same time right now, congratulations. But remember, clarity is a journey. It is an adventure. It's not something that comes to you overnight. It's something that you walk into. So as you begin to walk through life, you come to a point that your vocations, your profession, and your mission comes together. Now, Tony Elumelu loves to help people. He has made enough money. And from making enough money, he's empowering entrepreneurs through Tony Elumelu Foundation. So you understand what I'm saying now. So Tony Elumelu Foundation is not what is bringing money to his pocket. He has businesses and he loves entrepreneurship. So he's doing what he's been. I don't know if that's what he's called to do. I don't know. That is between him and understanding himself. But you can see that he has gotten to the point that he's now giving back. He's now using what he can do. I mean, what he knows how to do to work on his passion. Now, I need to get this question. Which one should I work on first? Should I focus on my passion first, or my talent first, or my bills first? I can't answer that question because people's journey differs. Some people will focus on their passion. I'm telling you, they'll be so passionate about it. They will suffer for a little while, but because they are putting their strength, their energy, and they have built an intelligent system that make them learn and learn and learn. Before you know that, their passion will be converted to their vocations. There are some people that are like that. Why there are some people, what they did first is they focus on making money, they focus on paying their bills, and then after they have built financial wealth, then they now begin to work on what they are passionate about using the money they make. There is no hard and fast rule. Our roads are not the same. You need to identify for yourself, given by your current situation, given by your current circumstances, what do you need to work on now? I don't need to tell you focus on your passion or focus on your talent. No, or focus on your body. No, that's not. I don't need to tell you anything at this moment. Are you guys following? Do you guys still have people following me? Okay. This one, everybody, everywhere is quiet. Okay, thank you, Grace, for giving me that. All right. So now takes us to our discussion. So the goal should be the mission is the goal. Your vocation and your profession can change. Now, look, that's key. That's key. Now, what's the major difference? Your vocation and your profession changes with time. And that is why you cannot say that my vocation is my purpose. Purpose is more than your career. Purpose is more than what you do to get paid. There's changes with time. There are people that are software designers today that they become lawyers tomorrow. There are people that are lawyers that are trained lawyers, professionally trained lawyers. Tomorrow they are investment bankers. There are people that were researchers today. I know a first class biochemistry, someone who graduated first class biochemistry, find himself in audit with KPMG and is doing well in KPMG in auditing. I mean financial audit. So don't be so stringent with your vocations and your profession. Don't say because this is what I learned in school, it must be what I will do. That is not wisdom. Remember, you don't gain clarity by just sitting behind your desk. You get clarity by what? It's just like swimming. You don't swim, but you don't learn how to swim by reading swimming books. You have to jump into the water, and so that you know how to navigate across the waves and arrange yourself. Okay, so your vocation and your profession changes with time. There's nothing wrong with that. But your mission remain constant. Your mission remains constant. The goal of everybody is that at the end of your life, you should at least have entered into your mission. Some people entered at 30, others entered at 20, others entered at 50, some people entered at 60. But your goal should be at the end of your life, at the end of your journey on earth, you are able to enter at least into your mission, because that is where the fulfillment is. Okay, that is well explained. So, what is my own? I've just told you TBS knowledge. What is my own? Now, this is mine. My talent is that I've noticed that I'm a natural learner. I used to tell people when I say that learning is my superpower. Like whatever I put my mind to, I can learn it. Some people are thinking, is this a talent? Yes, it is. It is a talent. If you ask me to, I did a thing with singing when I was younger. I did it. In fact, one of the courses, one of the subjects I've ever had a failure was drawing in junior secondary school, and what's the name? Technical drawing in senior secondary school. My technical drawing in senior secondary school was a red. My drawing, so I'm not artistic, but I have a creative. I'm not creative in that sense of, building artistic creativity. No, but then whatever it is, I put myself to learn. I know I'm a fast learner. I'm a natural learner, and I learn at ease. That's my talent. Now, what's my passion? You already know by now. I love to teach. See, I started teaching from primary school, and I'm not exaggerating. If my younger sister Mercy is here, she will attest to what I'm saying. When I was still in primary school, I'll pull Mercy and her friends together. I was still in primary school. I'll be teaching them multiplication table. I'll be teaching them long division. I'll be teaching them noun and pronoun. I'll mark their scripts. So I have always loved teaching. And one of the reasons I passed so much, one of the reasons I passed very well in secondary school is not just because I love reading, it's because I love to teach people. And so I don't want to get them disappointed whenever they come to me seeking for me to teach them. So I have to know more than them to teach them. And if I'm eating food and you say, Nick, I don't understand this. If any of my classmates in secondary school is here, they'll attest to it. If I'm eating something and you say, Nicholas, I don't understand this, so will you teach? I will drop what I'm eating. And if I don't know that, I will learn it until I come back to teach you. So I'm passionate about teaching. I love it when I'm doing it. It is my most fulfilling moment in my life. And then what's my burden? I hate people. I hate ignorance. If you have come across my post, you should have. I hate people who doesn't know what they should know. That is where NICOP capacity developed. That's how it was built. It was simple. I was invited to speak in a graduation ceremony, and I was asking in the FYB graduation ceremony, and I was asking basic questions that they should know. They don't know about it. No knowledge about personal branding, no knowledge about professional courses and where they can take those professional courses. There is no knowledge about career advancement, no knowledge about financial. They don't know anything. Sorry to use that word, but that was the truth. So I got angered and said, okay, fine. If you want to learn, I want to pull a group of people together. We started with 19 people, and today, here you are. It's been 5 years it's been more than 5 years doing this since 2019, and here you are. So this NICOP Capacity Development Center was born out of my TBD Nexus. Now, the good thing is that I didn't even know it then until 5 years ago that I sat down and did this Nexus for me. So I now understand what my contribution is. And my contribution is that to educate the world. That was why when I was running business, I was running a full-time business, entrepreneurship business. I had to leave and go and receive another training that will make me to be that will give me an opportunity to teach in a larger scale. Of course, you can guess what is that: research and what? And teach and lecturing. So even while I was there, I wasn't doing bad, but I wasn't fulfilled. Now I come to know that because I did my what? My TBS Nexus. I don't know what I'll be in the next 10 years. Maybe I'll become president of Nigeria, or maybe I'll become a UN envoy, whatever it is. But one thing I know for sure that I know I will never stop doing is that I will never stop learning, and I will never stop teaching people, because that is my TBS Nexus. And to tell you the truth, what has been my result? My result has been simple. I used to tell people that I so much love to learn that for the past 4-5 years, I have been paid to learn. I came to the UK on a fully funded scholarship. When I say fully funded, see, if I could provide the bike money I took from my house to let's say the bike or the Uber I took from my house to the airport, and give it to the people that fund my scholarship, they'll give me the money. Like I was asked to do nothing. My fees were paid, my house rent were paid, my stipend was consistent. So I have been feeding on my TBS Nexus on a fully funded scholarship. I finished that fully funded scholarship for my master's degree. I got another fully funded scholarship for my PhD degree, for my PhD. What I have been on the TBA. So I have mastered the art of learning that I am being currently paid to learn. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So there is nothing you have that cannot bring the reward, if only you can learn to be diligent about it. Okay. So what's my current VP? What's my current vocation, profession, and mission? My current vocation is that I do research and I consult for people. That's what I do. I do. That's what paid my bills. I'm being paid to conduct research, and I consult for people. It's still part of research. Now, I'm a trained food scientist. I'm a trained food scientist, and my mission is to move people from ignorance. See, it's as simple as that. You don't need long English. You need to sit down and do this calculation yourself and ask yourself these questions. What can I do very well without stress? What am I passionate about? Then what is that thing that when people are doing, and then start, you can either start with your passion or start with your talent or start with your body. Just start from somewhere. Start from somewhere. So Nick Up is started as a result of my body, my current my talents, and so you just need to start from somewhere. Again, I didn't learn this over time. It takes years, right? But it's refined. This may change in the next 2 years. I don't know. It may change in the next 10 years. But for the next foreseeable future, I have clarity of what I want to do in my life. And that is what it means. I have clarity of what I want to do. I know what I cannot do. I don't know if I may join politics in future, but I know that politics is not part of what I'm supposed to do right now. And so that's why it doesn't matter how you entice me or to do, or you say you come and play football or I should come and coach. There are some things I cannot do now. That's what clarity is not really about knowing what to do. Clarity is knowing what you should not do. That is the main definition of clarity. Because there are a lot of things that you should do that you don't know, but there are things that you are 100% sure that you cannot do. I remember when I was being interviewed for a role during my university days, for fellowship role, they asked me that what leadership role can I take? I said I can only tell you the leadership role that I cannot take, and that I can't be financial secretary and treasurer. It's not because I eat people's money, but because I'm not very good at money management. Because I know myself. I know what I can do. So clarity is knowing about what you can do. Okay. So we have talked about contribution. I hope you guys get it, because I just hope you get it, right? Do you get it, or do you? Or I don't, because I don't want to stop at this point and ask question, because I want us to finish this today and maybe dedicate next week to question. Or what do you think? Let us finish this today and then. All right. So, what does reward mean? So the connection between your talent and your passion, we say this is your contribution. But the connection between your talent and your burden is where the reward comes in. If you use your talent to solve the problem you have burden about, you get a reward. If you use your passion to solve the problem you get burdened about, you get a reward. That's the reward system. So your passion or your talent must be connected to your burden, which is the needs of people, in order for you to get reward. So reward does not come from you. Reward comes from others to you. So what you are doing must be of value to others. So there must be something that is leaving you to others. Your talent is what you have. Your passion is for you, but it is your burden that goes out to others. And it's when your burden goes out to others that reward can come back to you. So a lot of people are pursuing both their passion and their talent, and it looks like they're not getting reward. It's because you're doing it all for yourself. You must connect either your passion and your reward to your burden, or you connect either your reward and to your burden, or you connect both of them to your burden. When you do that, either of those three, it brings rewards to you. It's because reward comes from others. Now, again, there are two types of burdens. I don't want to go into this because of our time. I really do not want to go into this. I just want to talk about, when I talk about reward, maybe what comes to people's mind is maybe money. Yeah, money is one of them. But there are three rewards. There are three ways you get rewarded in life. You get reward by earning, you get reward by learning, and you get rewarded by impact. These are the three major rewards. I may say, so it's not just about money. If you connect any of those nexus to your body, it could come in form of money. And it could be you earn money, you earn recognitions, you earn better, you earn more opportunities. Do you understand? Okay. When I say that I'm being paid to learn, that doesn't mean that they just say, oh, we like you, we like the fact that you are learning, come and take our money. No, I'm being paid to learn, but in the process of learning, I am doing what? I am solving a problem of the UK by researching on a project for them. That's why they are paying me. But at the same time, I'm killing two birds with one stone. Number one, I'm earning from it. I earn recognition in form of scholarship. I earn money in form of scholarships, but I'm also contributing back to the system because my research will serve as a contributor to the system. Do you understand now? So it comes in form of either you earn money or you learn from it. So at any given point in your life, you should do one or two or three of these, but don't make sure that you don't. It's either that you are earning or you are learning or you are making impact. So any jobs that doesn't pay you enough and yet you are not learning on that job, and at the same time it's not making any significant impact, it's not a very good use of your rent. It's not a very good use of your rent. Ask yourself, what reward am I getting? Am I learning here? Am I earning here? And when I say earning, it will not just be money. Are you earning more skills? Are you earning network? There are conferences I go to because the reason I go there is because I want to expand my network. Because the people I will meet there that I will need in future. Okay, so you need to understand that you must do either of these. Either you are earning, or you are learning, or you are making impact. You don't say, I don't know what I want to do in my life, and then you fold your arms. You're not doing any of these things. You are losing out, and there is no phase that you're not doing any, that you should do one. If you want to focus, you are those one that want to focus on making money. Make money and become a billionaire. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be the one that wants to learn, but as you are learning, make sure that it's also connected to people's burden, is solving problems. Because that thing that you are learning or that thing that you are mastering will one day make impacts on people. So at the moment, I'm earning, I'm learning, and Nick Hop, you guys are my reward for Nick Hop. I'm not doing this. Yes, I'm doing it because I know you benefit from it. But you may ask, well, a lot of people ask, what's in need for me? What's in need for you is that I'm earning impact. I'm having the satisfaction of the fact that there are things that people had not known before, and they have known because they joined him. Even though it's only one person whose life has been changed, that's enough for me. That you can look back and say is because I joined GMP 2026. That is why my life changed. That is why I got these opportunities. That's why I got this knowledge. That's enough. That's a reward to me. It may not come in form of money, but that's a reward to me. So you also must arrange your life in that way. You either earn, you learn, or you make impacts. Okay. So reward and contribution. So they see an R. So where your reward and contribution meet, then you should know that you're already on your mission. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing I know for sure that if I die tomorrow, I know 100% for sure that I'm on my mission. Because I've been able to perfectly find my nexus. And I'm glad I didn't wait to start Nicole, because that would have been the missing thing about my life right now. So you have helped me, and that is one of the reasons why I wake up. My wife knows I wake up at night. I put my whole life to it because it's my mission. It's my mission. Some of you might have found your mission already. Congratulations. Some of you might have not find it already. It's okay. You journey. Don't forget, I said the word, you journey is an adventure. But once you hit that core, you know it. Once you hit the core, you know it. So I don't know if you have learned anything tonight, but I want to say that contribution without reward leads to frustration. Reward without contribution, you are a thief. Why? Even Jesus did not just come and die for you. The Bible says God exalted him to the highest place and gave him the name that's above every other name. So even Jesus got rewarded. Yeah, that's not heresy, that's scripture. He got rewarded. So it's not wrong to seek reward. That's why I don't feel bad if I tell you to help me post some things so I can reach to more people, because yes, I've earned it. I've earned it. I know how much I pay. If I'm consulting for people, I know how much I pay per hour. And so if putting these resources together, I know how much I get paid per hour. So yes, I have earned it. And I can do it boldly. Okay? So it's not wrong. Don't be too humble that you don't seek to get reward from your contributions. Don't be too humble. It is the Bible said it is the husbandman will be the first partaker of the blessings. Don't be too humble. If you have provided a service, if you have provided a product, if you have connected your passion or your talent or your skills or your profession or your training to your body and you solve people's problem, it's okay to seek reward from it. It's not a bad thing. So this is where we end tonight. And I don't want to leave you confused. This is, like I said from the beginning, in Nicole, we don't build your capacity. We provide opportunity for you to learn how to build your capacity. I don't expect you to know this overnight. I don't expect you to, but now that you know it, take this framework with you. Be rigorous. Do it now. Do it in the next 5 years until you know. See, brethren, when you hit it, you know. When you hit it, when you hit the CRM, when you hit the CRM, your mission, you will know. So, for those of you that really wants to work, it's not compulsory, but based on what you have learned tonight, I'm going to share you this screen. I've been thinking of putting this into a book, but I've not had time. I'm working on a lot of other books. But from what you have learned tonight, I want you to sit down and start now. Starting from where you are at the moment, starting from where you are right now. Don't forget about the next 10 years, right? If you're a student, what is my TBS now as a student? What is my talent? What's my passion? What's my what kind of contribution? What kind of reward do I want now? Remember, you start from what? The outcome. What kind of reward do I want now? For some of you, your reward is to graduate to take first class or graduate with as most best grade as you can. Then start asking yourself, what can my talent do to give me that reward? What can my passion do to give me that reward? What can my body do to give me that reward? Okay, I'm just looking for a job. I'm just doing an NYSC. Focus the next 1 or 2 years before you just do the next 1 or 2. Because as you understand, as you grow, these things evolve. As you grow, these things evolve. But once you hit your mission, you will know. And that's what people call purpose. That's all. Another name for mission is purpose. Once you hit it, you will know. Your purpose is not your career. Your purpose is not your job. Your purpose is not, no, that's not it. It's just a way to get to it. I hope I've been able to explain enough tonight. So I'll take questions if there are any. Maybe for the next, where are we? Thank you for so much for those that stayed. It's okay. It's good that we rush through it and finish it enough tonight. So we have about 15 minutes to take questions. If there's anyone that have questions, I would be glad to take your questions now. Do you have any question, or you want to go home and take this all in? Because I know it's a lot. I know it's a whole lot. Yes, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Actually, I didn't know I'll finish it today. I thought I would do it 2 times, but it's okay. We'll finish it today. I'll still give you this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm thinking. Should I put this in the book or whatever it is? But yeah. Juliet, go ahead. Arrange your thoughts. Arrange your thoughts. Arrange your talk. Think about it. Think through it. If you can come back and rewatch it again, please rewatch it. I just want you to be very, very clear with your life. I just want you to be very, very clear. Well, and once it's done, trust me, there's a whole your life becomes easier. But for one of the things that clarity does for you, you're not everywhere. You're not intimidated by other people's success because you learn how to define success for yourself. As I am today, I know how to define success for myself. I'm I don't know. I think it was in this place I was talking about someone that said she doesn't like WhatsApp. I mean, she doesn't like LinkedIn because it looks like a lot of people they are bragging. And one thing I first of all told her is because you have not defined success for yourself. You have not defined. So if you define success for yourself, there's nobody's brag there. So some people, success is a certificate. To some people, success is a good marriage. So some people, success is a good home. To some people, success is a. So you need to learn to define success for yourself. But once you take time to do your passion, talent, and burden framework, you discover that you learn how to define success for yourself, and it will move your life in a very long way. All right. Yeah, I know it's a very big pressure at this age. It's a very, but you need. I'm not saying you should do one thing, but you should be strategic at where you enter. If I tell you that I do one thing, I'm lying to you. And it's not just one thing I do, but whatever I do, you can see this nexus. You can see it's either my vocation, or it's my profession, or it's my mission. If it does not align with any of those three, I don't do them. If it's not paying me money and it's not part of my training, it's not part of what I'm being trained to do professionally, and it's not part of my mission, you don't see me there. That helps you streamline your life very small, and it changes with time. It changes with time. You can pick it at one time, one thing at a time. If you want to pivot, that's another thing. Should I pivot into graphic design? Try. If it doesn't work, there's nothing wrong with that. Should I pivot at a time? Don't do. Make sure that it's connected to each other. I do it's not just one thing I do. My wife knows I do a lot of things, but then it's Mary. Go ahead. I was waiting for a question. Then we close. Mary, I can see your hand.
Thank you so much, sir, for the section tonight. Actually, it's about the last statement you made, and I've been thinking about it because you even said it. I have passion personally. I have passion for different things, so many things, and I find myself doing almost everything. So how do I channel it to, I want to eat the pot instead of me doing different things at the same time? Because as if it's limiting my ability. I know I'm good in this, I'm good in this, I'm good in this, I'm good in this. But I can't be doing all because I'm not a machine, so to say. So how do I channel my passion to a particular point that, this is what I really want to do, instead of me doing diverse kind of thing? Thank you so much, sir, for the section.
All right, thank you so much. The answer is simple. You need to ask yourself what season of your life are you in? And then what's the most feasible thing to do, or what passion align with the season of the life that you're in at the moment? Again, it's not something you do it on your head. You take a pen and paper and you're applying them. You need to define yourself. Are you a student? Are you married? Are you working full time? Are you making money? Are you trying to save money? So you need to identify the season of your life that you are in. And then what's that passion? What's that passion? What aspect of your passion is more relevant to the season that you are in? God is not an author of confusion. Now, I used to tell people that they used to say, Jack of all trade, master of none. Okay. Now, when they say jack of all trade, master of none, the idea is that the trade is what makes you money. Now, you can be doing a lot of things at the same time, but it's not all of them that brings you money. So if it is not trade, if you're not making money from it, I mean, okay, what I'm trying to say is that you can do a lot of things, but it's not all of them that should be making you money. Do you understand? So you need to first identify what stage of life am I in, then identify what passion, what is it I'm passionate about, or what can I do, what is it I can do that is more relevant to the stage that I'm in. And if you notice, if you really, really sit down and take note of what you are passionate about, there is something that connects them. I don't know if anybody has feel it. Me, because God is not an author of confusion. If you really sit down and do a mapping of everything you think you're passionate about, there is something that connect them. That's the core. That's where you start from. Okay, so once you start from there, every other thing is now built on it. Every other thing is now built on it. All right. I learned how to code. Okay, now listen. I learned how to code not because I want to become a software developer, but because what I was running at that time required me to build programs. And I don't have the money to pay the people, but I have the time. So I sat down and said, okay, if I'm going to pay this person to build this, I'm going to pay this amount of money to build this thing, so someone to help me build this thing. It's almost the same amount I will invest if I learn to build myself. And as at that time, that is in 2017, I was just a fresh graduate and I have all the time. So instead of saying, okay, build it for me, I learn the skill, I use the money and the time that I have to learn the skill. And that today is still saving me a lot of money. Because what I'm supposed to have given out to other people, I'm building myself. If there is nowhere on my profile you see that I'm a programmer. But I program. I write programs. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you pick that core, then every other one is built around it. I don't know if you get, but if this is not enough, I don't want to promise that there will be time for us to sit down and create. I don't want to promise any one-on-one right now because I have a lot on my hands. But you receive grace, okay? I don't know if I attempt to answer your question, Mary, because I know I've said a lot. Peculiar, your hand is up. Mary, I'll need a response, please. Peculiar, go ahead.
All right, thank you so much for this session, sir.
You're
It
welcome.
was so instructive. It was edifying. It was eye-opening. I needed to hear this. So my question is has a little bit of spiritual intonation, and I feel comfortable to ask because I know that you are also a child of God. So I want to ask you mentioned something about burden, and my question is growing up in life as an individual, you've received a picture from God as what's your future, or should I say what God wants you to do, in the sense of I don't know how to put this, but perhaps you were in a spiritual meeting and maybe a word of knowledge came, a prophecy about your life, and at the moment you do not have a passion for that particular thing. Okay, putting it in context now, let's say the word came that you would be in politics. Perhaps you will become the president of Nigeria, but you did not study political science, so there is no profession to build it, and you do not have a passion for it, you do not have the skill, but at every point in time it keeps tugging in your mind that you keep having, I don't know whether burden is the right word to use for it, like you feel responsible, you feel like I need to be in this political space, but at the moment you do not have the passion for it, you do not have the certification, you do not have the skills. It looks as if you are not going to be effective in that calling that you have received, but it just keeps tugging, it doesn't leave you, it feels like
attending to other things feels like a distraction. How do you balance that?
Okay, first, if you are 100% convinced that it's God that is calling you into that area of life, then you have leverage. Now, it's not everybody that have that privilege of God outlining what they should do with their life to them. It's not everyone. Some people some people used to have that, but it's not everyone. So if you're 100% sure, like I mean 100% sure that it's God that actually instructed you to do it, then you don't need to feel it. You don't obey God by feelings. Okay? When it is God's definite instruction, just do it. Take the first step. And what is the first step? Register to a political party. You're not going to contest. What's the first step? Register to a political party. Volunteer for them at the background. And that's all. You don't need to force it. You volunteer. Someone say, oh, this guy know this person who is very good at this person. Okay, somebody need a PA in a senator need a PA in their office. Oh, this lady is very good. Come and become a PA. Nobody knows. You are just there. You are learning from there. I'll give you the story of. Thank God you brought it up as a spiritual question because I'm going to take a spiritual thing to it. Now, David was anointed king, but he didn't become the king immediately. But because he was anointed king and he went back to the bush, then nothing even concerns him. So, but before that, God started orchestrating a lot of things, and one of them was the fact that he became the king's cupbearer. Remember, David became the king's cupbearer, learning how to run kings and all. So God took him through those processes so that he can learn to become a better king and eventually gets there. So if God says you're going to become a president tomorrow, God is not wicked to just make you as a naive as you are and put you as president. He wants to take one step after the other and he direct your step and lead your step, and you learn what it takes to campaign. You learn what it takes to understand political system. I don't know if you understand. So God guides your path, and that's why I said my focus has always been, look, yes, I know you want to do great things with your life. The reason when you say that a lot of word of knowledge has come out concerning your life, I smile because I kind of have that experience. And now, what do I use those word of knowledge for? I don't use them I don't hold on to them. I use them I used to tell people that I use them as what is the best thing to use? No, okay. I use those word of knowledge as to build my confidence. So if I'm in a mess at the moment, I'm 100% sure that I'm going to get out of that mess. Why? Because the word have been spoken concerning my life. This is not where it ends. I don't know if you're so some of those things. This is what are supposed to be. So if you have the pull towards to answer the question simply, if you have a pull towards it, then take the first step, take another step, prayerfully take the steps, and God will guide you. I can't tell you what to do, but God will guide you as you go through them. But trust me, if God says you're going to become a president, it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not to, in fact, it's not even going to be next 10 years. But that does not mean that God don't want you to do nothing with your life for the next 10 years. So God wants to take you through the process. And as you go, it becomes, like I say, become clearer and clearer and clearer. Okay. So, and one of the safest prayer you can pray, but very difficult for people, is God, let your will be done. That was Jesus' prayer. So once you can play, sometimes when I find myself in a situation, I just say, God, let your will be done. Right? Has it be all and root? No, I've faced a lot of things, but when I'm in that situation, I just know the word that has gone ahead, and that word served as a. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Very well, sir. Very
All
well.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peculiar. Okay. Thank you, Presnick, for the insightful session. I learned a lot. I have a question. I genuinely love teaching and find it very fulfilling. It took me a lot to find it, but in Nigeria, pay and recognition prestige can be quite discouraging. Yeah, I know. Actually left a tech job to pursue teaching, but now I'm considering going back to tech for a better financial stability. In your opinion, what would be the smartest move for someone in my position? Should I stay and grow in teaching, or return to tech for income opportunities. Now you need to ask yourself, why do you enter teaching? If you enter teaching because you're passionate about teaching, who told you cannot teach in tech? Right? So who told you cannot teach in tech? You can teach in tech. You can teach anywhere. So that's what I'm saying. It's not really about vocation. I mean, it's not about what you do, it's about what you're passionate in doing. So you can teach in tech. So if where you are now is not paying your bills, it's not, and you know that you're being under remunerated, you don't stay there because you're passionate about it. So if you have opportunity to move into tech, go into tech and start building and start creating an atmosphere where you can teach in tech. Because they say you are teaching, God have called you to teach, does not mean you should go to your village and become the village headmaster. I'm not saying it's wrong to be a village headmaster, but so the most important thing is the passion. It's like a tool. It's like a tool. You can use it. You can use it anywhere. You can use it anywhere. It's not tied to what you do. You can use it anywhere. Okay, if you're good at counseling people, it does not mean that you must read advice and counseling. If you're good at counseling people, you can become an HR. You can do it as HR. You can do it as you can do it in anywhere, right? So that's one thing I want us to disassociate ourselves from. Okay, that's why I say your vocation and your profession changes. Your vocation and profession changes. See, look, except it is God that is telling you, don't live here. Live if you find a better opportunity. Today I'm in the UK. If I see an opportunity to go to a better place and God not tell me to stay back in this place, you think I'll stay here? I will go. Except God told me otherwise, I will go. The reason is because if I'm hungry, except God tells me fast, I will eat. So that's that's just a natural thing, right? You are gravitated towards what is good. If I'm hungry, except because you are fasting today, I will eat. So you see a better opportunity. Except God explicitly say, don't go, or maybe when you leave. For example, okay, I'll give you an example. So recently, I was looking for a kind of remote job to do online and stuff. So someone came to my place and introduced us to a remote job. And as we were doing it, I didn't even, it was, money was coming up, but it's not something I'm really passionate about. So they now stop us from doing it. I became happy. Imagine, as in they stop you from they stop you from making money and you became happy. So when they now say they have brought it back again, I told my wife I don't have my peace. As in, sorry, you're not a girl, like, you don't understand this. I start having this strange feeling, like, as if this is money, do it. Then I now remember, I now realize that, Nick, no, this is not what you're not supposed to be here. I lost my peace immediately, even when that thing came back. Okay, so it's not, there are some that there'll be triggers, there'll be things that will show you that this is not the right kind of move. If you don't see those triggers, please make move into a better opportunity. The fact that God say you should teach, who say you cannot, like someone say, God say I'm a teacher, so I cannot leave Nigeria. It's only Nigeria that you teach. Okay, and that's a lot of people also used to say, except God tell you to leave Nigeria, if you leave the country, you go and suffer in abroad. I'm not saying you should not leave Nigeria, but if you have the opportunity to leave, I'm not saying you should mimic your way and fraudulently, but if you have the opportunity to leave, except God says stay, leave. Oh. I have stories to tell, but I will not. That story will not tell me. But okay, so I think I answered your question, Julia. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your effort. I don't know if you have written any books on this, so I can share. This has not been put into a book yet, and I'm thinking of doing it, but I don't have the time yet. But I'm working on another book that will be out by the end of this month. So, but it's not this is not this one. Maybe if you are if you're a ghostwriter here and you feel you can take this idea and convert it into a book, and then I'll go through it and improve on it, fine, to help me. But it's been difficult for me settling putting this together. Thank you so much, Ty, for your time. It's been a wonderful time. It's 3 minutes past 12. Oh, sorry, 3 minutes past 12. And thank you for staying till now. I hope it has been worth your while. I see you in 2 weeks' time. But before then, if you have any question, keep asking me. But if I don't respond for the next 2 weeks, please Please, I have a lot on my hands, but I will try to respond when I can. Thank you so much. Good night.